Can you get more than what you pay for in mental health services? And is it possible to receive a therapeutic hour of counseling from a psychologist, not a clinical social worker, but a psychologist, for $30, no insurance involved? I'm Lance. I consult in this space, and today I'm going to show you a startup that connects you with a psychologist for a therapeutic hour for certainly half, if not a quarter, of typical rates. The name of this startup is Terapify. They are a classic multi-sided business model framework. Think Uber, Airbnb, but in behavioral health and mental wellness. Hence think Talkspace, BetterHelp, and plenty of others. Simply put, they're a matchmaker platform, connecting psychologists with people interested in having conversations with psychologists, one-to-one, face-to-face, over a Zoom call or the like. But what makes this startup interesting is the fact that they are in Mexico. That's right, Mexico. And the psychologists are in Mexico, and Colombia, and Peru, as well as Argentina. And a great many speak and provide services in English. And before you rule this out, be mindful. Therapy is a big part of life in Argentina. Argentina is the country that has the highest number of psychologists per capita in the world, with almost 200 psychologists per 100,000 residents. So it's not surprising to see a lot of profiles on this platform out of Argentina from therapists like this. I will call this therapist by his first name, Pablo, and that red arrow shows you he's conversing in Spanish and English. The blue arrow is where the therapist describes themselves. This gentleman is a professor at the University of Buenos Aires, and that green arrow shows you his academic credentials. And as you can see, he has a bachelor's in psychology and a master's in psychoanalysis. Now, I happen to have experience in serving Mexico-based healthcare providers. However, they've all been dental practices in Nogales, Mexico, which is a 1-hour drive south from Tucson. And my clients in Nogales all had state-of-the-art dental equipment. 95% of their clients were from the United States, and that space is referred to as dental tourism. But can the same model translate to mental wellness services? Let's take a closer look. When you go to the website of this startup, you can see it's pretty straightforward and simple, and right there is the pricing. There you see it, a therapeutic hour with a psychologist at $30 for individuals. Couples, the fee is $40. And what's even more compelling is they offer packages of 5 sessions and will give you a 5% discount if you book a 5-session package. And think about it, 5 sessions with a certain caliber of a psychologist here in the States can easily cost you $500. Here on this platform, less than $150. Let's venture over to the psychologist page, and you see a presentation of the therapists that have signed up to offer services. And there are filters that you can apply to narrow down candidates by country, gender, session type, duration, language, and therapeutic models. So, for example, if cognitive behavioral therapy is what you're interested in exploring, you come across profiles, as I did, and I will call this therapist by her first name, Nelda. And as you can see, she's located in Mexico. She speaks English. She happens to have 7 reviews and holds an undergraduate degree in psychology and a master's in cognitive behavioral psychology. And back to the reviews, one thing about her profile that stood out to me is that her reviews were all in English. So I would not be surprised to learn a number of her clients reside in the United States. What's really interesting to me about this platform is it allows you to explore the affordability of it all. For example, I've never experienced Gestalt therapy, and I came across this profile, and I will refer to this therapist by his first name, Jaime. And as you can see, he's in Mexico and specializes in Gestalt therapy. Gestalt therapy is a form of therapy that focuses on the present moment rather than past experiences. It's centered on increasing a person's awareness and self direction. And as you can see here, Jaime speaks English. For me, he checks all the boxes. And when I say checks all the boxes, I'm referring to the preliminary boxes to justify learning more and taking another step. And once you're at this point, in my opinion, assessing what's here, what's the value proposition for me, is little different than if I were on Talkspace or BetterHelp. I'm still at the same point where I need to make assessments on what I'm looking for. And when asked, I always encourage people to explore multiple, at least 3 therapists before settling down and exploring a potential journey with a single one. You have to try vanilla and strawberry to have a certainty that chocolate is for you. And even then, it may not be the fit you're looking for, but you have to be vulnerable and at least proceed down the journey, take the risk, have 4 and 5 sessions, and then reevaluate. And stay mindful, all that glitters is not gold. A person can be heavily credentialed, but an ineffective therapist. And a person can present themselves less than perfect on paper and be perfect for you as a therapist. It cuts both ways. Let me share with you an article I came across in Self Magazine. The author is Nikisha Williams, and I'm going to leave a link in the description. The article goes in depth on how valuable it can be to find a therapist who can understand your experiences and perspectives and references in a deeper way, specifically because of shared identity. But shared identity doesn't always mean you'll be a match once you're actually sitting across from each other in person or in a virtual therapeutic session. Ultimately, the goal is to find the right therapist for you, whether that means you have several overlapping identities or none at all. Sometimes cultural alignment is less important than having a person being versed and skilled in the type of therapy you're interested in, being culturally competent, affordable, and able to help you. This is an important dimension of consideration to appreciate in exploring this startup. The article is titled How to Find a Culturally Competent Therapist Who Really Makes You Feel Heard. A link is in the description. So I want to encourage everyone to explore this platform, play with the filters. You will see therapists on this platform that have the credentials of a $100+ an hour therapist here in the States. Plus, it's kind of fun to look at a menu and know that you can afford everything on the menu. If you enjoyed this video, like, share it with a friend. If this is the kind of thing you enjoy, definitely subscribe. I'm Lance. This is Therapy Grind. Until next time, take care.